If you grew up in the 70s, 80s, or early 90s, you probably remember wax pack bubblegum cards like these. Now, of course, they still make trading cards today, but they no longer pack them in wax. And I really miss this. And the other thing I miss is there were a lot of cards that I collected back in the days, but there were certain movies and TV shows that never got wax packs. So I took it upon myself to create my own version of wax packs that we really wish we would have got. And when designing these cards and producing these packs, I really want them to be as authentic as possible. So I thought, let's do a little test to see how authentic these homemade DIY fan-made wax packs are, as I show you one real card and one fake card, and you get to determine which is real and which is fake. So let's do some side-by-side comparison on real or fake pack break. Now, if you are a collector of vintage wax packs, bubblegum cards, trading cards, whatever you want to call them, you probably know which movies and TV shows they actually made cards of and which ones they didn't. But my whole idea is that I want to fill in the blanks and create some of the packs that they didn't, that we wish they had. So I went about this whole thing with creating, putting the focus on making these authentic packs that hopefully you can't tell the difference. But like I said, if you are versed in wax packs, you might already know. But I still think this is gonna be entertaining, just as any wax break would. What cards are you gonna get in each pack? And then if you haven't seen some of these that I've created that are fake, some of them might be a little obvious even to the uninitiated. But we're gonna start off this series with breaking open these 4 packs, and we're gonna break them up into sets of 2. So first off, we are going to go with, there's kind of a theme between all of these, and they deal with, mostly like friendly creatures and puppets and things like that. The Jim Henson kind of universe with the Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, and of course E.T. and the kind of the ripoff of E.T., Mac and Me. And they both kind of featured, puppeteering, animatronics, things like that. So that's the underlining theme behind all of these, and we'll probably have underlying themes as we continue to do this series. But here we go. We are going to start off with the E.T. and Mac and Me, and the way we're going to do this as far as the order is we are going to open each pack in the order of release. So E.T. came out in 1982, Mac and Me came out in 1988, so we're going to open E.T. first. And so let's just go about this. We'll see what we get. So E.T. trading cards, tops, 10 stickers. 10 cards, 1 sticker, 1 stick of bubblegum. And as usual, the bubblegum in these things are probably pretty nasty. We'll see kind of what we get. So we're going to break open this first pack. Try to be gentle with it. And I used to have, I had cards like this as a kid. And this is just going to bring back nostalgia. Man, they look pretty nice considering. Okay, we've got some broken gum here. Okay, we'll just set that aside. We don't want that nasty gum. So here we go. Let's see what we got here. Fear of the unknown. All right, so that's kind of where Elliot's kind of camping out, and he hears, or maybe not camping out, but he's on his porch and he hears the disturbance, E.T. Then we've kind of got the bio there. This one, wow, look at the, I don't know if that's faded or if that's just that's the photography there. It's Halloween, so I remember as they were trick-or-treating, and I remember one of the kids was dressed as Yoda, and I remember E.T. saying phone home. I remember that was a great scene. Anyway, so there was definitely the Halloween scene, and this whole movie has a big influence on me, and the comic books I create. A lot of them have to do with kids as the protagonists going on adventures and things. So I'm a big fan of E.T. This one's kind of, their home being besieged, and that's when the, I don't know, were they scientists or government agents or something that kind of broke through. And then there's kind of Trick or Treat, another, scene that took place around Halloween. Oh, we're getting close to our sticker. For the Love of E.T. There we go, with them getting ready to go on that classic scene that you see on the back here where they're riding across the moonlight, E.T. and Elliot. Yeah, as most people in the 80s, I love this. Okay, so we got a nice family shot. older brother's not there in this family photo, but we've got Gertie and I forgot the mom's name, and Elliot. I know Dee Wallace was the actress that played her. I don't remember her character's name. All right, so Unearthly Thirst. So that's kind of, I remember the scene where E.T. gets drunk, and then Elliot, who's feeling everything that E.T. feels, gets drunk while he's at school, and shenanigans ensue. Time for a snack. So these must be close to the same thing. He's going in there, and that's when he starts drinking. And then Gertie says hi. There we go. And then, there's it's kind of you don't see too many like full body shots of E.T. in the movie, but there's one, and it's kind of in shadow, so you don't get to see much. But there you go. And what's wrong with Elliot? And this is when he starts getting sick and everything. And of course, unfortunately, we have some of the residue from the gum there. So there we go with the E.T. trading cards. Now let's go into Mac and Me. Now, I didn't see Mac and Me when it came out. It was kind of it was one of those where it was sort of, it was a ripoff. It was basically a cash grab, basically, if you call it that. Where, I mean, it's just tons of advertisements for Coca-Cola and McDonald's and all that. Even the name Mac and Me comes from McDonald's. But this is Mac and Me from 1988, Topps trading cards. And I later discovered these cards after the movie was out. I didn't know them when they came out, but here, let's go ahead and open these up. So, all right. So we've got some residue from the wax there, and we've got a sticker. I mean, not a sticker, but a piece of bubble gum. All right, so very similar to the E.T. cards. This movie basically ripped off E.T. right down to the trading cards. But we do have a sticker. There's Mac. We got a sticker with Mac. Here we go. Power of Distraction. So this is Mac using. I think he's got some kind of powers. I don't think it's ever really explained what kind of powers he has, but he can do things. And again, instead of the classic scene, the designers of the card just went ahead and ripped that off and put the scene. Also, another infamous scene. If you've watched any of the interviews with Paul Rudd, where he's about to show a clip from his movie, and he always throws in this clip of Mac and Me where Eric, the boy, falls off the cliff into the water, and kind of, so we get that classic scene on the back. Again, Coke, the elixir of life. This trading card set, or not trading card set, but this movie was just filled with product placements. Everything from Sears to, like I said, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Skittles. They kind of went, instead of the Reese's Pieces, they went with the Skittles route. But tons of product placement. And there we go, Coke, the elixir of life. Tell him to back off. So this is when Mac, because when Mac and his family go into this grocery store, and they try to stop them, and it basically end up blowing up the whole grocery store and everything. It was kind of a bizarre movie. I mean, these aliens basically did so much destruction, and in the end, they're just kind of like, they get to become citizens and stuff like that. It's just like I mean, I guess they're supposed to be friendly aliens, but through just sheer stupidity or whatever, or just not knowing about Earth, they end up causing a lot of destruction. So it's kind of a funny thing. Anyway, runaway wheelchair. So ramping up to that classic scene again that you see on the back, and of course, unfortunately, we've got some gum residue on the back of that card. In Hot Pursuit, this is again very similar to E.T., where we've got the scientist or government agents chasing Eric and Mac down the street. And then, and this is sort of the ending scene, I think, Mac in the back of a pink Cadillac. So we got Mac and his family now with Eric and his friend. And then citizenship granted. So like I said, at the end of the movie, they all become citizens, even though they basically blew up, a grocery store, a whole strip mall, and caused all kinds of havoc. But we got to have a happy ending. So there we go. A visitor arrives. So this must be kind of where Mac first kind of made his first appearance. and made himself beknownst to Eric, who befriended him. And then, of course, oh yeah, and we've got to have a classic scene at McDonald's because, like I said, this is a huge McDonald's, McDonald's advertisement. So there we go. Mac and me and E.T., which one of these is real, which one of these is fake? We'll come back to that, but first, let's go ahead and we're going to open up 2 more sets of cards. Next up, we have the Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, 2 Jim Henson productions. Loved both these movies as a kid. Dark Crystal was like my favorite. I wasn't as big a fan, and just because I compared it too much to Dark Crystal, I think of Labyrinth, but it does have some great creature effects and everything like that, and it is a beloved movie. So these are for, I think, Don Russ. Yeah, Don Russ put these out. Let's see, 8 cards, no stickers, no bubble gum in these, so you're kind of getting ripped off a little bit, but anyway, I collected both of these trading card sets, so let's dive into them. Like I said, we're going to do them in order of release. Dark Crystal came out in 1982, Labyrinth 1986, so let's start with the Dark Crystal. Again, and oh man, if you haven't seen the Netflix series, it's just amazing. I wish they would have got a second season. Let's see. Let's try to open this here. All right. So again, only 8 cards. A lot of packs come with 10 cards, and no stickers, no bubble gum. So thanks, Don Russ. Maybe these were top by Tops. Oh, but this is what I remember from these old sets is that they had these rounded corners, which is pretty cool. So here we've got, I forgot their names. Is it Jan and, I forgot her name. Why can't I remember? Here, maybe it says. Let's see. Kira, yes, Kira. Okay, so we've got our bio on the back. Really interesting cards in that they have those round corners. Oh, Ordra. Is it Olgra? Olgra? I think Olgra. This character design was just so amazing. I love that. There's so many amazing characters. I absolutely love the Dark Crystal. And the Netflix series, like I said, if you haven't seen it, definitely check that out. Olgra in the Chamber of Life. Oh, here we got some Skeksis. That's a cool card. Let's see, the Skeksis Gartham Master. And then the Pod people who they were siphoning their essence. The Making of a Pod Slave. And here we got Jan on the top of the actual crystal. I think is this where he's trying to reconnect the shard? The Lost Shard, yes. And then Kira, once again, she's got the shard there. We got the Skeksis in the background. Very cool. All right, and then the Mystics, we've got them all lined up on their sort of pilgrimage. The Trek of the Mystics. And, a really nice shot of, I think this is the Emperor before he's about to pass off. It's hard to tell. A lot of them look similar, but another Skeksis. So, very cool. Dark Crystal trading cards. Again, from, 1982? But now, let's fast forward to 1986. Don Russ Labyrinth cards. All right, let's open these. And I don't know how similar these are to the Dark Crystal cards. Here we go. Okay. So they've got the sort of the rounded corners too. Very similar. They're almost, so Don Russ went with that same look and recreated and just kind of went with that theme, which is very cool. I'm digging these already. Okay. So I don't think, like I said, at the time, I wasn't as big a fan, I should say, of Labyrinth. So I didn't have these ones as a kid. But let's see. So here we've got Sarah in the kind of the helping hands. So we've got Sarah there being captured. She's kind of falling down and they grab. We've got the Goblin King Jareth and Sarah and sort of that wedding, kind of like a wedding scene, like a deep dream sequence. Belle of the Ball. Very cool. David Bowie. A big David Bowie fan. At the time, you have to understand, in the 80s, probably wasn't, he put out good music, and I liked his music, but it wasn't like It wasn't until I went back and discovered his stuff from the 70s that I really started to really dig David Bowie. So, but here, that's a really cool clip of the Goblin King. Magic. Oh, that's the Magic Dance song that he did. And Hoggle, I think his name's Hoggle. Friend or foe, Hoggle, yes, is the gruff, loyal goblin who reluctantly aids Sarah in her quest, torn between his allegiance to Jareth and a growing affection for the courageous heroine. We've got Hoggle there. Oh, and then Ludo. I love this big furry oaf character meeting Sarah. And then this guy, what was his name? He was like he rode around on the dog. That kind of a cute little creature. And then here we go. Oh, that's the guy, the magic guy in the hat, the wise man in the hat. They're going to him for advice, and we've got this is probably like a rookie card for Sarah. Very cool. Sarah's quest, and a great shot of David Bowie as Gareth the Goblin King. So let's kind of reveal which ones are real and which are fake. We'll start here with we've got the wax packs for both of these. If you don't already know, the real ones were the Dark Crystals. I had a bunch of these as a kid, but it's cool to see because mine are all banged up. Even they don't really have dog ears because they've got the rounded corners, but they're not in this kind of shape, so it's kind of cool to see them. And sometimes it's nice not to get the bubble gum because you don't really have, other than maybe some residue from the wax. Pretty good shape, these cards. But these ones, the Labyrinth cards, I created these. These are fan art cards, and I've got these in small amounts available on my website, and yeah, so I modeled these exactly after the Dark Crystal. So they're pretty authentic looking, and they're not full sets with these cards that I do. They're just packs. So what you see here is what you're going to get in the pack. But it's just to give a small sample and an idea, just to like I said, fill in the blanks for those cards that we did not get growing up. So very cool. So those are those. Oh, the other thing I should mention is well, not with this. We'll get to that with the other one. So here we go, E.T. And this one's probably obvious, but I thought it'd be fun just to open these up anyway. We've got the E.T. packs. Here we go. The Mac and Me, and the E.T. All right. Oh, let's get rid of some of that gum. All right. The Mac and Me and E.T. And of course, if you haven't guessed, the real cards were the E.T. cards. Yes, E.T. was a huge phenomenon. I don't think they made too much Mac and Me merchandise, but I thought, again, the idea behind this was Mac and Me was such a rip-off of E.T. that I wanted to design these cards basically and rip off the whole look and feel of the E.T. cards. Now, the one thing I will mention, if you do pick up a pack of these, same thing here. I don't make full sets or anything, so there's only the 9 cards that you see here, what you're going to get in your pack, plus the sticker, and plus the bubble gum. Now, the bubble gum is not going to be this crusty old bubble gum that you would have got. Just for these pack breaks, I made special packs and I put old bubble gum to kind of throw you off. But you will be getting a good new stick of bubble gum in these packs, so you're not going to get so crusty old bubble gum when you open them. Also, they don't say Tops on them. I think they say it's like a parody, so it says Pops or something on the ones you get. Other than that, this is kind of what you're going to get if you order some of these. Same thing with the Labyrinth. So Mac and Me, if you want to pick up any of these fake packs, you can do so on my website at Serkworks.com, and there's other ones up there as well. But this has been a blast. I want to create more of these real or fake pack breaks. And also, I mean, I have a huge list of cards that I want to get to that I want to make that they never made. But if you feel free to in the comments suggest some. Chances are it's probably already on my list, but every once in a while somebody will throw one out and I'm like, oh, I got to do a pack of that. So I've got a huge list of stuff that I'd like to get to and create these kind of fan art wax packs. But they're all available on my website. Of course, you won't find the ET or the Dark Crystal, but they are available out there if you want to pick some up just like I did. And until next time, you tell me, is it real or is it fake?